So we begin our conversation today here on the Boles.tv live stream with the idea of the sociopath. Oh, you've met them before. The sociopath in society. And where do you begin to talk about people like that? Because if you're raised right, if you have proper values, if you know who you are and where you want to go and how you affect other people around you, you're very careful how you behave. You really don't want to injure other people because of your bad behavior, because of your bad decision making, because of your bad history, because of your bad way of interacting in the world. And unfortunately, through mainstream television and politics and media and entertainment, the sociopath has become, believe it or not, admired. And admired so much in society that even diagnosing professionals enable them by saying, well, what can you possibly do? You just have to deal with sociopath. If they decide they're going to do this, and it ruins everybody's life, what are we to do about it? There's nothing to be done. They're sociopaths. Deal with it. When really all you're looking for is a little bit of sympathy, and wow, what a terrible thing. And if they had moral value and character, this wouldn't be happening. What are you talking about? Well, let me give you a few examples. The sociopath, what is a sociopath? I actually asked ChatGPT that question, and I'm going to share with you what ChatGPT told me about sociopathism. And now, of course, you can't get online. What is a sociopath? We'll look at the Google. I'll just look it up real fast. Sociopath. Just so we can be clear. An antisocial personality disorder, sometimes called sociopathy, a mental disorder in which a person consistently shows no regard for right and wrong and ignores the rights and feelings of others. That's it. That's who we're looking for. That's our sociopath. Now, here are some sociopathic tendencies. Now, Neil Young is a wonderful performer, a great singer. I'm not necessarily saying he's a sociopath, but there is an example in his life where he used to be a part of Crosby, Stills and Nash and Young, and then it went back to just Crosby, Stills and Nash, and then went back to, Neil kind of some popped up. And after all that in the 70s, they were announcing this big world tour where Neil Young was going to reunify, bring back together Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young for a world tour. And tickets were sold. People were excited. And then, at the very last minute, Neil Young decided not to do the tour. And Crosby, Stills, and Nash were furious. The fans were furious. The promoters were furious. The music people were furious. The promoters, managers were all furious with Neil Young. What is wrong with you, you sociopath? How can you do this to us? Crosby, Stills, and Nash, how can you do this to your fans? And Neil Young said in classic sociopath style, well, sometimes things fall apart as fast as they came together. I guess suggesting, meaning that, this idea of, hey, let's all get together and do a world tour. Okay, let's do it. Hey, let's put it together. That is the same as him saying alone at the last minute, I'm not doing it. I'm not going. You guys go. I'm not going. Cross out the and Young. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, I don't want to do it. That is sociopathic behavior, where you believe you are the divine God, and what you say goes. And if it hurts other people in the process, well, F them. Who cares? I'm Neil Young. Crosby, Stills, Nash. Who are they? I'm Neil Young. But it's not just Neil Young, not just music. You see this, especially in the entertainment area. Broadway shows, plays. Hey, let's do a show. Okay, let's do a show. Hey, we ran out of money. The money person decided their $10,000, whatever, is not going to be spent on this show, so the show is closing. But wait a minute, we've all been working for free. We've been volunteering for 2 months doing the show, and we've been rehearsing, and we're all so happy, and we're all going to be stars. And what do you mean the show's not going on? And the sociopathic producer says, meh, I don't want to spend the money. Sue me. I'm leaving. And hopes and dreams are crushed. People don't know where to go, what to do. They're upset. Sociopath. Now, you don't think there might be a lot of sociopaths in education, but they are there. And the habit, historically, has been in the tenured professorship, where a professor can do a research grant and invite people, graduate students, come on, join me. And then at the end decide, I don't want to do it. We were going to do a book, but I don't want to do the book. So all of your hopes and dreams are shattered. And all that money that I was going to give you to help me write the book and do the research, well, that's off because I'm not giving it to you anymore. Sociopathic tendencies. But now, lately, with the rise of disability diagnoses and the $60,000 a year, semester, quarter tuition fees, power has shifted, where now the students are the professional sociopaths in some situations. Oh, I'm going to do this project. No, you're not going to do the project. You can't do this project without me, because if I quit this project, the whole thing collapses and all the rest of you are the F word. Effed. And you try to reason with these people, try to reason with Neil, reason with the tenured professor. You try to reason with the unconscionable student. You can't do that because you gave your word. You made a commitment to this thing that we're doing. You have a whole room full of people who believed you and who stood by you and who took advantage of your kindness, your invitation to join them in this project that you now have all by yourself decided you're no longer going to do. Sociopaths in society. I almost said sociopaths in psychology, but the psychological community, I guess their philosophy is, well, you have all kinds of people, just learn how to deal with them all individually. And sure, the needs of the one sociopath outweigh the needs and the wants and the wishes and the dreams of all the other people involved. Yes, that's what we do. That's what we do in modern psychology. Well, not where I was raised from. When you're old like me, and you're raised in the Midwest, your word is your promise. You don't even have to shake somebody's hand to create a contract. You just say, I'm going to do this, and you do it. And if you have personal problems that affect the project in a negative way, that would be easier for you just to leave the project, you don't do that. You suffer through. You keep your word. Other people are depending on you. And you get it done. You suffer through it. You do the right thing. Today, the right thing is whatever I feel I want to do. F off the rest of the world because I am the center of the universe. And that is a big, big problem for all of society. Because imagine you have a room full of one-offs, a room full of sociopaths. I'm doing it my way. I'm doing it my. Everyone's doing it their own way. No one's coming together. No one is belonging. No one is coming together as a group. Groups require sacrifice. And a lot of schools and groups and productions, television shows, Broadway shows, require some sort of collaboration. And some people are not good at collaboration. They prefer to work by themselves, which is fine. Go work by yourself. But then don't come up with this great idea and invite everyone to come and join you. And then you F them all later by saying, meh, I'm not going on world tour with Crosby, Stills, and Nash. I'm Neil Young. I'm sticking right here, doing my thing. So this is not about Neil Young. It's not about a university. It's not about the entertainment business. It's about how we interact with the world. And the older I get, the more of these sociopaths I see coming to the forefront of society. And the psychological institutions that are supporting them. Well, they have to do what's good for them. Well, what about their word? What about everybody else in the room who was counting on them? Well, they have to do what they want to do. You have to figure out how to deal with it. Why don't they deal with it? They're the sociopath. Why don't they learn how to keep their word and have high moral character, do the right thing for the group, sacrifice their own happiness, their own free will for the goodness of the group? No, we can't do that. Well, there you go. Then you have the rise of these completely agnostic authoritarians all over the world who think that they know what's right and F everybody else. You've seen them. You read about them daily in the news. And we're going to be talking about another one of them in just a moment. He owns Twitter. That is coming up right here on Boles.tv. But not now.